Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pro Series podcast. This is episode 113, and today's guest is Justin Caballero. He is the president of Revive Kitchen and Bath down in Tampa. He is also on the NKBA 30 Under 30, which we talk about that and different networking events and how important it is to business. And we also talk about owning a company and the kitchen and bath industry in general. But before we get into this episode, please like, subscribe, and review this podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts. And now I hope you enjoy episode 113 with Justin Caballero. Awesome. Justin, thank you so much for hopping on the Pro Series podcast and talking to me today. I'm excited to talk about a few exciting things about your company, but first want to get into an introduction of yourself for maybe someone that doesn't know who you are, and then a little introduction about your company.
Awesome. Yeah. Appreciate you having me on, Eric. Excited to be here. Intro about myself. Originally from, my name is Justin Caballero. I'm the president of Revive Kitchen and Bath. Originally from Louisiana. I typically say New Orleans because everyone knows New Orleans, but I'm actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So home of LSU football is kind of where I tie that pack to typically. But I went to college at Ole Miss and grew up working for my dad and all of his businesses. He's always kind of been a real estate investor, a mortgage investor, and has always been remodeling properties in one facet or another. So I got introduced to real estate investing and home remodeling fairly early in high school and college. So I always worked for him in the weekends and summers and things like that. And then after I graduated college from Ole Miss, moved down to Tampa, Florida, where my dad had moved and was living to. He came down here to buy real estate, remodel it, and rent it out is what he was doing at the time. But when I moved to Tampa, we started doing home remodeling for different private equity and investment firms. And then we decided to start working directly with homeowners the past few years. So we started Revive Kitchen and Bath, and we used to do really entire home remodels, but then decided to really narrow down on just kitchens and baths. So Revive has kind of evolved a little bit, and our business model has evolved over time from being more investor driven to now working directly with the end consumer, or what you would call more of a retail customer. So we kind of went from the investment, more wholesale type guys, where you might have 5 customers that give you a lot of business, to now having hundreds of customers per year that they give us kind of one project at a time. And if we do a good job, hopefully we'll get a reload, do their kitchen and do their master bath, or vice versa. So that's what we're shooting for, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. How long ago have you started it?
Revive Kitchen and Bath is about 2.5 years old.
Very cool. So you have the one showroom now and the expansion coming soon, or is that kind of just?
Yeah, man. So actually our new showroom, our first ever showroom, is opening to the public next week. It's a very exciting time. We've always, we have 3 offices now. We have kind of our main office, which is in West Shore, about 5 minutes from my home office I'm sitting in right now. Then 5 minutes the other way is our showroom. And so we just did a full renovation on a really prime location, corner unit, and right in the middle of Tampa. So we have a 3,000 square foot showroom and then 5,000 square feet of warehouse attached to it directly behind it. So super exciting. It's basically like having 2 massive billboards on two of the busiest streets in Tampa. So we think we're alone. The rent is very expensive. We couldn't purchase it, unfortunately. A very wealthy family owns that building, and they have no reason to sell it. But we hopefully are getting just the marketing value from the location. But of course, having our first showroom is a huge value add as well, especially since some of our top competitors have already been having a showroom. And so we're excited to finally have a showroom. And then we have our third office. We have a very small office in Sarasota, which is about an hour south of here. It's a smaller community, less population than Tampa Bay, but definitely has some really wealthy pockets. So we've been doing, although obviously not as big as here, but they have some really good opportunities down there too. So we decided to expand south.
Yeah. So what is your territory on what do you guys cover throughout Florida? Is it just the Tampa Bay area, or you kind of go further out?
Yeah, great question. So we work in about a 45-minute radius from where I'm sitting right now. So all of Tampa Bay, in North Tampa, there's some really nice suburbs we do a ton of business in. Same, really all over Tampa, but also St. Pete, Clearwater, and then Tampa's expanding kind of out, right? So you go towards the water, Clearwater, St. Pete. There's really not a whole lot more land over there, which is great for remodeling because
Yeah.
it's pretty much all built out, and then they're older homes, so we're doing a lot of renovations there. Then you have kind of Tampa's expanding north, east, and southeast out into the suburbs.
Mhm.
And then you go down to Sarasota, which is about an hour away. Then we cover kind of North Sarasota. There's a really nice neighborhood called Lakewood Ranch, which a lot of the houses there are about 20 or 30 years old. You're talking about $1 million homes that need to be remodeled. So we're doing really well in that neighborhood now as well.
That's awesome. So, what are some of the things that put Revive kind of apart from the other competitors down there in Florida?
Yeah, great question. And I always tell this to customers, but I think our business philosophy and how we do business is the biggest differentiating factor between us and a lot of the competitors out there. My
Mhm.
dad's always instilled from a very young age, hey, your reputation is everything. Do what you say you're going to do. And as long as you treat your customers right, then they're going to continue to be repeat customers and refer you more business. So on any particular project, I'd rather lose money, although I obviously don't want to lose any money. I would rather lose a little bit of money on a project than have an unhappy client. And I think that goes a long way. I always say there's about 100 different touch points from the beginning of a kitchen remodel or bathroom remodel to the end. From the time you sign the agreement, of course, you got to go through the renderings, pick out all the materials, get them purchased, delivered, demo, plumbing, electrical, go all the way through the project. And we're dealing with people, with humans, not robots that are there installing the tile or painting. So there's going to be touch ups here and there that are necessary. And there might even be a big mistake. But at the end of the day, as long as you step forward, take accountability when something goes wrong, that's what people want. And that's why people hire Revive Kitchen and Bath, because we're a very financially stable company. We're not going anywhere. We're not taking one person's deposit to go finish another project or anything like that. We are a trusted name in the community that we're going to be reliable. We're going to be here. We're gonna stand up and take accountability if something does go wrong. And I think at the end of the day, when you're talking about remodeling the heart of your home, like your master bath or your kitchen, that's what you want. You want a partner that's going to have your back if and when something does go wrong. Because look, it's construction. I'd like to say we're 100% perfect, but we're not, and no one is. So, and we try to tell people that up front. Look, it's not if, it's when something goes wrong. Typically minor issues. Every now and then, more of a big one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whether it's small or big, we're there, we step up to the plate and we fix whatever needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean that's what everybody wants to hear. When you're remodeling, for the most part, you're dealing with people's discretionary money. They're spending money to update because they want to. I mean, I guess you are in Florida. You do probably have some natural disasters, some stuff that actually has to be fixed.
Mhm.
But when they're spending thousands and thousands of dollars, they want a trustworthy company and someone that they could, rely on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of the other differentiating factors, we have in-house design team, which is also great. There are a lot of different design firms out there, and especially on the higher end projects, people might reach out to a designer first to kind of get some ideas. But I think it is really valuable to have the designers in-house. So we have 3 professional interior designers on salary, all degreed, all very talented, have won many awards for kitchen and bath designs. And then we also have 2 cabinet designers who specialize in just designing the cabinetry, which obviously is a big part of remodels, especially kitchen remodels. So having that in-house allows us to transfer the design into actually making it a reality with construction and kind of being on the same page there. And it also helps with the speed of delivery. We found that working with outside designers was less successful than when we brought it in house. So we're really excited to have very talented individuals on the design team as well as the project management team. I mean, all around, I think we have a really great crew of individuals working with us.
That's great. So I have a question for kind of your business side. There's so many kitchen and bath dealers out there, or kitchen and bath designers that want to step out and make their own company. And
Yep.
there's so many. It's like impossible to be fully into a job. You can't just make the cabinets, cut the countertop, do everything yourself. So you have to rely on some local manufacturers and reps. How hard was it to figure out who are the trustworthy people to, maybe the fabricator for your countertop, because it is ultimately your brand and your name at the end, and you're putting kind of their job in your hands to kind of put that countertop together, that tile together. What is some advice that you have for someone like that trying to look?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I think always the first thing that you want to look for is referrals. And
Okay.
that's why it's really important to get involved in things like NARI and NKBA and different organizations, or just with other people who may be builders or remodelers, and kind of build that network and those relationships, because then you can get referrals. I'm friends with many other builders in the area. I say, hey, I might need another countertop fabrication. That is a very real example that just recently happened. My buddy who's building custom houses said, hey, this is my guy, and now he's working with us as well. So I would say number one, referrals is always the best. Especially if you know and trust that person who's referring, right? Because they definitely don't want to refer you anyone who's not good, because then it's a reflection on them,
Yeah.
right? And then the second thing is, I think similar to recruiting similar to having client acquisition, I think you also have to have employee acquisition and sub acquisition, basically your talent acquisition, right? So I look at acquiring talent the same way I look at acquiring customers. I want to have a very large funnel. I want to be seen everywhere. I want people to know that we're always looking for good people, whether that's new craftsmen, new tile layers, or new salespeople, new back office, everything. I always let people know I'm always hiring. I'm always looking for the best people, right? Even if I don't have a position for you today, we are growing quickly, and in 3-6 months we probably will. So let's stay in touch. So basically have a big funnel. We have a pretty fantastic vetting process. So we have a kind of an application for any subcontractor who may want to work with us. So basically have a lot of people reaching out, because we are marketing in a lot of different places. And then we have a department that vets them. So we do background checks on them. Obviously, we want to see references and pictures of their work and things like that. And then at the end of the day, you still have to try them. So you try to vet as much as you can, but at the end of the day, you got to try them out. Whenever we're trying out a new subcontractor, our rule is be there as much as possible when they're doing the work, at least the first few days. So definitely every day to be checking on their work regularly. So get them started with a tile, then come back in a couple of hours and see how they're doing with a tile. If they're not doing good, we'll give them one chance to be able to fix it. If they can't, we'll say, sorry, bud, it's not working out. And
Yeah.
we'll get one of our most reliable tile crews to come knock it out, so there's no delay in the project. So that's kind of how we do it. Again, start with referrals, always start with that, but we post on pretty much every site you can think of to get people and their eyes on us. We actually have a ton of people reaching out to us because we always pop up first on Google. Like if you type in kitchen remodel Tampa, you're going to see Revive Kitchen and Bath at the top almost every time. So a lot of people are filling out things on our website too every day.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that kind of got us connected because of social media. And not just you personally, but Revive is also big on social media. And I think that's something a lot of design companies or just people in our industry are sleeping on, is digital media. I mean, it is a free tool. I mean, you need to hire experts, but if you're a small company, it is a free tool. What is your importance with social media and marketing in general, and why is it so important to you?
For sure. I mean, I think marketing is probably it's the lifeblood of your business, right? If you're not marketing and you don't have enough people who know about you, then you're not going to be getting enough sales. If you don't have sales, then you really don't have a business at all, right? So we market on probably 20 different marketing channels right now. We're on pretty much anything I think you could think of. If you could find of things we're not marketing on, I would love to know. uh, but I think it's extremely important. So we believe in the importance of investing into your marketing and investing into your brand. I mean, I don't think you can overstate that.
No, no. And then let's touch about your NKBA award that you recently have won. Some people don't know it's a thing, but NKBA 30 under 30 is a huge deal. What is that all about to someone that just doesn't know anything about NKBA or the award itself?
Yeah, I think it's I'm honored to have received the NKBA 30 under 30 award. I think it's it's a great award. Obviously, I think NKBA is probably the top
Yeah.
uh, organization for our industry. So it was awesome. They flew us out to Vegas, kind of gave us the whole um, tour of the conference, and we got to meet with the past presidents and all that good stuff. So it was really exciting to be able to network with my peers and also with people who have been in the industry for a long time. And I feel like it's the people that are at the head of the kitchen and bath industry, whether that be suppliers, designers, remodeling companies like ourselves. So it was really awesome to be a part of that, and it's definitely a good community and network that I feel like you can always tap back into at any given time. For instance, we had a cocktail party with all the past 30 under 30s, and a lot of those people showed up, and you were able to network with them and build relationships. So I think it's, again, kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, having a network. You never know when you're going to need to ask somebody or call on a favor,
Yeah.
or ask for a piece of knowledge, and knowing who to go to and be able to get on the phone with somebody, I think is invaluable for sure.
Yeah, that's something that people just sleep on again with is networking. Networking is huge, especially in our industry. It
Yeah.
can mean so much for you can build your company so much faster if you just network. And people
Mhm.
that kind of stick to themselves are kind of doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think it's yeah, it's awesome for a lot of people to know you, but it's also for you to, hey, who do I know in my network that can help me bridge the gap to where I'm trying to go?
Exactly. And then with you in your situation, if you have a client that kind of wants something that you've never done before and you know someone else that can do it over in,
Yep.
Ohio, you could easily connect with them and be able to service that client. And again, it brings you back to that whole customer service thing and getting that referral that you at Revive uh, desire and value so much.
Yeah, for sure. And we definitely do turn away a lot of business. We just try to be the best at kitchens and baths. So anything kind of out of that wheelhouse or that scope, we will happily refer, to other people.
That's awesome. Yeah, swallowing some pride there is also a great way to get referrals as well because you maybe not have helped them with their home, but you did help them get into the right place to get their remodel or their needs matched.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Awesome. Well, I want to finish off on where people could follow you on social media, how they could contact Revive, and yeah, let's finish on that.
For sure. Yeah. So revivekitchenandbath.com is our website. We have tons of information on our company. We have a really big photo gallery on there, which is great. On Instagram, you can go to at Revive Kitchen and Bath. And then my personal Instagram is at JCAB. So at JCAB as in boy. Feel free to reach out. Happy to connect with anybody who's kind of who is in the industry and would be, interested in connecting.
Awesome, Justin. Thank you so much for hopping on the Pro Series podcast. Good luck next week with your grand opening at your showroom.
Thanks,
And we'll
man.
get this out.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much, Eric.